Ladies and gentlemen, today on Vibes with Pets, we are having a guest of a lifetime, an honor on our show today to welcome the youngest, the newest. I say youngest not in terms of age, but in terms of publications. The newest author in town. Nice to have you on Vibes with Pets.
Thank you so much.
So I'm just gonna give you guys the pleasure to listen to her introduce herself by herself because who and what she is, I don't want to be the one to say it. I want her to be the one to elegantly tell us with full chest who she is. So please tell us,
Yeah.
who are you?
All right. Thank you for having me here, and it's my honor to come to your channel and to talk about myself.
Good.
Yeah, my name is Florence Nongni Awachi Are. So I live with my husband in China. I'm married for 14 years, and I have two kids. And I've been giving marriage counseling to couples who are preparing for marriage. We also coordinate the couples group in 19. I am also a marriage encounter presenter.
Wow.
So I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you.
My honor to have you. You
Yeah.
are the first person I've ever had
Mm,
on the show, like an author.
mm,
Yes, and you don't know how I feel about this.
mm,
Like when I heard that she was going to launch a book, I quickly said, but first, on Vibes
mm,
with Pet, we like to promote. I like to promote. Yes, that's the best I can do. I
yeah.
like to promote. I don't know we've ever spoken personally before. We
Mm,
haven't. But when I heard about your book launch, I was like, yes, it's a fellow sister, and
yeah.
we belong in the same group. How can I contribute? How can I make it known to the world, not only buried here in China?
Yeah.
Somebody has to know that someone somewhere in China wrote a book
Mm,
about marriage, which is the major talk of the day in
yeah.
society. And I think her choice of topic is one that I can recommend to everyone. So before I ask her, I want to be the one to tell you guys the title of her book is Before You
Yes.
Divorce. Before You Divorce. I think
Mm,
it's kind of suspense.
yeah. Mm,
Right. So I don't want to ask her what's the meaning of the title because it's obvious. Before you
mm,
divorce, am I going to
yeah.
interpret it rightly? Let me see. What should you do before you divorce?
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So I want to ask you. She said her name is Florence. I like to call you Florence.
Yes.
Okay. I know it doesn't go with disrespect. I
Yeah. No.
disrespect you
No.
so
It's
much.
okay. It's all right.
Okay, please. Can
Mm,
you tell the viewers
mm,
why is this topic about divorce so pressing that you
mm,
have to write your first book
yeah.
about this?
Okay, thank you again once more for giving me the honor. Yeah, because nowadays you see most marriages are having issues, and you find many couples they want to separate, they want to divorce, they feel like marriage is not a good thing, it's a bad thing. There's a lot of misconception about what
Yes.
marriage is all about,
Yes.
and it breaks my heart to see young couples who started a good journey
Yes.
and at the peak of their relationship, instead of enjoying the fruits, they are splitting apart.
Yeah.
So I think this book will be useful for many couples. There are principles here that can guide you, so that before you divorce will be a guide for you people, and a
Like
divorce will
a very
never,
last option.
yes, and divorce will never be an option for you if you go through these principles and understand them and practice them as well.
That's awesome,
So
guys.
yeah,
That's
thank
great.
you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I
Mhm.
haven't read this book before now, but
Yeah.
just during the launch, I got myself a copy. I don't
Yeah.
always go without a copy.
Yes.
Yes. So I got myself a copy. You won't believe it. I've gone through all the pages. You know what they call flip and fast reading?
Yeah.
Yes, I went through all the pages of the book. And there's one thing I want
Mm,
to ask
mm,
about this book.
mm.
Do you think that many people divorce because they lack patience or because they didn't just meet the right partner?
I think there's nothing like bad luck in marriage that you didn't meet the right partner.
Mhm.
I think most problems in marriage is just unmet needs,
Yeah.
and that is poorly communicated. So
All
if you
right.
can communicate your needs properly and you understood better listening habits, then we don't have any room for divorce in our marriage. So how good or bad your marriage is depends on your level of
Communication.
communication. Yeah.
Great.
Thank
I
you.
just want to tell you guys, she
Mm,
used a very smart approach to answer this question because she's
mm,
like covered the whole theme in the book to
mm,
just talk about that
mm,
ability to know what each person wants.
mm,
But I want to tell, maybe it's my opinion or at the same time a
mm,
question.
mm.
Don't you think that people divorce because they are not compatible? Do you believe that people are not compatible? Are people not compatible in marriage? Do you
No,
believe that?
not that they are not compatible. It's just that they don't share their feelings and
All
they
right.
assume and they live with expectations. Means I expect that you should be doing this for me, and I don't share how I feel about this problem.
To
And
help you do
yeah,
it.
so we become judgmental,
All right.
and then we become like expecting that I expect you to be like this,
Mm-hmm.
then I expect you to behave like this, but you don't communicate how, because we all have different personalities. So the thing is that most people don't know that you don't know the person you're married to, and your own personality may not be your spouse's personality.
Right.
And sometimes you want to love your spouse the way you want your spouse to love
Love
you,
you.
and your spouse too wants you to love him or her the way
Mm-hmm.
she wants to be loved, which is her love language.
Yeah.
So if couples can understand that this is my spouse, this is her love language, this is her personality, you better understand them. Because what are personalities?
Okay.
Personalities are who you are. You were born like that, nobody can change it.
Yeah.
But behaviors are learned and can be unlearned. So with your personality stems from your behavior.
Okay.
Why you do things the way you do, how you reason and how you react. So if I have a better understanding of my spouse, I'll understand. For example, myself,
All right.
my personality is that of a helper.
Yeah.
So I feel good when I help people.
Right.
But that's not my husband's personality.
Yeah.
His own is that of act of service. He likes when I do things for him.
Yes.
So before, when I got married, also we have issues because he was doing his best. He would clean the house for me, wash my clothes, do things. And when my friends visit, they say, "Oh, you have a wonderful husband." But in me, I still felt empty inside me.
Yeah.
I felt like not fulfilled,
Not fulfilled.
because my love language is what? Appreciation.
Yeah.
So now, until we understood that we have different personalities, now he started loving me by appreciating me more. And I
Wow.
started doing the things for him. Our relationship got balanced.
Yeah.
So most of the problems is not that you're not compatible; it's that you just don't know your spouse's personality. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Mm,
you so much. That was
mm,
very deep. But there's
mm,
really one more question I want to
mm,
ask you. From when I read the book and when I hear most people talk
mm,
about marriages, a lot of people say that
mm,
it's not about love.
mm,
There's something more than love that defines marriage. Like when for me, if I talk about love, it's maybe just the
mm,
feeling, the connection, like what
mm,
they call love at first sight.
mm,
Like I think that marriages can actually survive if people even fall in love at first sight, because it's going to guide them to accept people for who they really are. If you fall in love at first sight, means you're ready to accept their anything. I mean, the worst part of them, you will accept it because that is falling in love, and any
mm,
other thing can come later. Do you
mm.
think it's the contrary, that love comes later?
Yeah, it's the contrary, because, like I'll tell you, Pet, if you want to marry someone, you don't work on your feelings. It's just a decision,
Yeah,
because no one is perfect, right?
right,
So and you just have to say, okay, I've decided to spend my life with this person, good or
okay,
bad. And
right,
this decision, you have to renew it every day when you wake
okay,
up.
good.
Why? Because if you rely on your feelings, they're unreliable.
Hmm.
Today you are happy, I'll say, oh, I love
Tomorrow,
you. Tomorrow
yeah,
you do something, I'm hurt, oh, I don't want this marriage anymore,
right,
right? So which
right,
is, feelings are unreliable. So you cannot say love at first sight, because
right,
that would mean I'm marrying for a particular reason. And if tomorrow that reason is not there, then I'll not find any way why I'm staying here. So I married you because, first, couples must sit and talk about their core values. It's not because you're not compatible, but what is my core value? What is your core values? And then now you set your own core values as a couple. So you don't want your spouse to work on your core values, or to function on my spouse's own core. But now we decide what would be the core values of this marriage. What will bind us as a couple? What will be our ideal way of functioning? How do we communicate? How do we view adultery?
yeah,
How do we bring up children? And how do we manage our finances? All these things are very important
yeah,
to discuss and build a core values towards that. And
yeah,
you find out that even if you thought before that you're incompatible, you see now that you're compatible, because, first, I have my needs, you have your needs. So when we understand what our needs are, then we can move on
great.
and work well. Yeah.
I really
So thank
appreciate
you.
this.
Yeah.
After saying all of this, do you agree that
Mm.
getting married to your friend
Yeah.
is the best way to marry.
Yeah. Yes, because best friends care for each other. Best friends help each other. So if you're married, I'm not saying you should go on the street and look for your best friend and marry. No. But if we have decided to be married, then we have to become best friends. Because we know the
So
characteristics of
sorry
good
to cut you
friends.
short, meaning
Yeah.
that you can marry without being best friends and finally become best friends.
Yes,
And at the
because
same time, you can have a best friend before you marriage, and
yes.
maybe you married and then you just be one of the lucky people who happen to be married, who happen to be married to their best friends,
Yes.
that they can do anything in their presence
Mm.
without feeling
Because
like
it's true, yeah, because most people do not marry their best friends, but their marriage is working, right? It
yes.
means
So they built it somewhere along
yes,
the line.
yeah, and then we decided to become best friends.
Yes.
We choose to be best friends. We choose not to be vulnerable to, because why? Best friends are not vulnerable to each other.
Great.
So
Okay. I don't
yeah.
want to fill the night with a lot of questions, guys, but there's one thing I wanted to say. I want to compliment you on this work. Yes, I am a literary analyst.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have done a review on the book in my normal way,
Yeah.
read it and then do a review, but I hope to do it like I did to Daily's book.
Yes.
Okay, so I've gone through the book, and here I would say that it's filled with a lot of principles. Okay, it's filled with a lot of principles. I have a lot of questions to ask you, but I think the line is short and a little noisy on the background. But I
Yeah.
hope that next time in your next book, I'll ask more questions.
Thank you so
But
much.
guys, I'm giving compliments about this book, filled with principles, and I want to say you've done very well. And I still believe that there are a lot of principles in this book that you should have
Mm.
really explored,
Yeah.
that really exploited them,
Yeah.
said more about them, quoting examples, like
Yeah.
say really more about them. But
Mm.
at the same time, I think that since you're already a therapist or a
Yeah.
coach
Yeah.
or trainer, you still leave it open for the people who buy the book to get in touch with you and ask you, can you tell me more about this principle?
Yeah, because also I have a website
Yes.
where you can also ask questions or contact me, because people don't like reading. So if you want
I
to put every
know.
example and make the book too big,
Too big, they won't
people will
like to
not
read
want to
it.
buy it. So it's better you put
Yes,
a
make
basic
it.
knowledge.
Yes, guys.
And if you find it interesting, then you can
Mm,
always contact me. I have my Facebook page.
yeah,
You can follow me, or even through
great.
Pet's page, you can still get in touch with me to get more.
Exactly.
If you find a principle interesting, you want
Yeah.
more, then you can still keep in touch. So sharing this book is not a closed door. So
It's
we are
not
still open
like she said
for
it, yes.
more explanations, more retreats, more seminars. So
Yes,
you
during
can
during the
join us.
review,
Thank you.
yeah, during the
Mm,
review, sorry about that. During the review, she said it doesn't mean that having this book means the knowledge has stopped. Okay, it
mm,
doesn't close your doors from finding out more information about this topic and more.
yeah.
Yes, so this is just like a guideline, and it's written in very commonplace English. So even the baby on the street who can read already can understand what they're talking about here. The language is not taken out of space. It's commonplace, meant for you to understand, meant for me to understand.
Yeah.
So, guys, what last word would you give to people who are at the point or at the edge of getting divorced?
Okay.
Give
I
us
just
a
want to
short
tell you
advice.
that even you think the hunt is over, the hunt is not yet over.
Yes.
Every problem has a solution. So I just want you to take a pause and think again why you began this journey from the beginning, and how much you've invested in this journey,
Mhm.
and see whether is it poor communication or what are the problems. If you both cannot handle the problem, you can always meet some counselors to help you guys. Do not abandon this journey halfway. You have started a good work, complete it. I can assure you that it's just a phase you're going through. But if you
And
believe
that
in
too shall come to
yourself,
pass.
yes, believe in yourself, believe in the power of your love, believe in what you both share, that with the love you both share together, you can overcome every obstacle and everything will be fine. Don't give up. It's never too bad, but we can always fix it again. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mrs.
Yeah.
Array, for accepting to come to Vibes with Pets.
Thank
You don't know
you.
how nourishing this
Mm.
is, but definitely someone will pick
Yeah.
something from your
Mm.
exposition this
Yeah.
night on Vibes with Pets.
Thank you
It's my
so much.
pleasure, and I
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
Thank you.
May God continue to bless you and
Yeah. Thank
instill
you.
more knowledge.
Thank
We
you.
want to get more books. I want to
Okay.
attend more launches. Okay, if
Thank
I need
you.
your, maybe I want to tap from your grace in the future,
Yeah.
at least I'm going to tap from it.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Guys, keep
Thank you for having me.
watching
Yes.
Vibes
Bye
with
bye.
Pets for
Yeah.
more
Bye bye.
nourishing vibes on the show. We promote you, we encourage you. We
mm,
make sure you can use the last of your potentials to be a better you. Before you divorce, make sure you get yourself a copy of Before You Divorce by Florence Are.